Yo, how are we?
All good. How about you?
Yeah, busy, mate. Busy. Can you
Uh,
hear me?
yeah, very crystal clear.
Good. Good. Is it just us two today, or we got someone else?
We got someone else with my co-host. Give me a moment, yeah. Uh, copy by link. All right, so how's the team going?
Yeah, all good, mate. If obviously you see the socials and stuff,
Yeah.
Instagram, everyone's doing really well. This year is particularly quiet for me in terms of volume of athletes.
Hi,
Which
good evening, sorry.
Evening. How are you?
Hey,
Hi, sorry.
Hey,
Sean, sorry.
how are
hello.
you, sir?
Good. Let me put my name.
Sure.
Uh,
Yeah, you were saying Sean.
Yeah, so this year's in normal realms for me is fairly quiet in terms of volume of athletes. I've got four athletes competing this year. Typically, I roll with about 10 or 15 a year, so it's kind of been the last 4 or 5 years with me. But I've already started putting together 2026, and there's about 20 plus athletes ready for next year,
oh, good.
including yourself.
You're going for war. Yourself, you mean you're coming back?
No, for you, not me. No, I am fully retired, my friend. The trunks are well and truly hung up for me.
All right, okay. Well, before we go in depth more about Sean and asking him questions and stuff and try to brain his ideas and knowledge. Just so you guys know, my audience, this podcast is brought to you by, sponsored by Field Stretch Performance.
Stretch.
So if you want to get yourself fixed and stuff, do drop by their Instagram and social media. And yeah, book for appointment quick, get yourself fixed so you can basically push for another week into hard trainings and stuff. All right. So, like I mentioned, today we have a special guest straight from Birmingham, UK. They call him Mr. Classic in PCA. He's a PCA pro. Yeah. So yeah, to know more about Sean, basically, if you guys are asking, who is Sean? Like I said, he's a PCA pro. He's straight from Birmingham. All right, I'm working with Sean closely as well. He's basically is my coach. Currently, well, basically we are coming up to what, 4 or 5 years together currently right now.
Yeah, so I remember your first message to me, and it was I was on a holiday in Turkey, and this was 3 weeks after I got my pro card in 2021.
Mm.
So
No, I
this
didn't
was
know.
like I think this was like November, December time. You inquired about
Yeah.
coaching, and I still remember your first visuals that you sent me in that first check-in, and how far you've come and where you are now, and how your physique has developed over the last 4 years has been incredible.
Yeah, well, touching base on that, the the reason why I approached you as well, I was trying to brain myself in terms of coming back into the scene. And yeah, I just wanna have a better mental state, not thinking about, mind fucking myself into should I reduce my carbohydrates and stuff, all
Mhm.
the particular things. I would just want to set into the preparation, just doing the work without thinking and stressing about all the mini minor stuff and all. Yeah.
I think that's the real beauty of employing a coach is you if you employ a reputable one that's got vast experience of getting people in shape, that's all you have to worry and focus on is doing the do is eating your meals and consume your energy for training. You don't need to question whether is this the right training plan? Am I pushing too hard? Is this the right amount of calories? Is this the right cycle for me? That's the whole reason why you employ a coach. But some people they don't see it that way. They kind of still are resisting to let go of that control of what they were doing before, and they don't fully reap the reward and the benefit of just, letting the coach take the reins with things, and then you have the beauty then just to go and put things into practice and just train the hardest you possibly can and being consistent with the food that you possibly can. And I think you're a prime example of that, Rio. You just kind of let go of things, the reins, and just let me create the plan and you just execute the plan.
Yeah, nice. Definitely. All right, Sean. I mean, I feel that the audience would love to know, I mean, how you started off, you yourself an athlete, and I believe you started off as a men's physique as well.
Yeah.
Then, I mean, how you transition into, I mean, what makes you transition into a classic, and where does the love of coaching start from?
Yeah. Okay. So there's two questions there, I guess.
Yeah.
How I first stumbled into bodybuilding and my first show at Men's Physique. Well, I stumbled into bodybuilding. I've always gone to the gym like most people and trained and
Mhm.
built a half decent physique. But it was actually my training partner at the time who decided to go into a bodybuilding show, and I watched his journey because I trained with him. It never really interested me whatsoever. The whole concept of bodybuilding seemed quite quite weird and quite gay, if you like. Men in thongs oiled up on stage. It's a bit strange, right, to the outside looking in. And that was kind of my perception on it. And then I followed my boy's progress through his prep. I watched his physique change um, from start to finish, and then saw him on stage, and it was just like it was one of those things where I was kind of instantly hooked. And literally from that day forwards, I decided, I'm going to give this a go. And then once I'd done it myself, it was a case of, all right, this. I'm pretty good at this. This is my thing.
Yeah.
And I think once you find that what you're good at and it brings you pleasure, you kind of made it, right? You found a bit of purpose in life, and that can guide you in really good channels. But yeah, you're quite right. Men's physique was my first competition for my sins. Men's bikini. And yeah, I was still natural at this point. Like I hadn't touched any gear at this point. This was 2014, 2014. Men's physique, natural federation, natural show. I did fucking terribly. I came like seventh or something like that out of 13 or 14 athletes.
Do you
Um,
feel Do you feel after the first show, I mean, like the placing that you landed on, do you feel demoralized, or is just fuel you up, fire you up to be better?
so I mean, after it was the latter, but initially, yeah, I was pissed off. I was like, "How dare you give me seventh place? I've worked so hard for these last 20 weeks. Have you seen what I look like?" It's like
I get it.
but you become very egotistical and arrogant in your first show. I think that level of humbleness isn't there. You think you're the hardest worker in the work in the room, and that no one is better than you. So I had a bit of a hissy fit for about 2 days where I felt hard done by. Because the feedback that I got from the judges was I was too big and I was too conditioned for men's physique, which, at the time I was like, how can you be too big and too conditioned for a bodybuilding show? It just doesn't make much sense. But then I kind of use that feedback as positive, constructive, because I've obviously got a high level of muscle mass because they said I was too big, and that I know I can bring good condition because they stapled and stipulated that my condition was very good. So after I came out of my sort of wallow pit for 2 days, I kind of got to work then for 18 months. I did an 18 months off season myself. And this was the time before coaches were a thing, online coaches and prep coaches. There wasn't really too many about in 2014, 2015. It wasn't really a business. So you had to kind of go on, you had to go on social media and bodybuilding forums, which you had back then,
Mhm.
and kind of get the information, what people were eating, what they were training, and things like that. Um,
So it
and
was
that was when
like,
that was when I did my first cycle as well. So this was like 2015, the start of 2015. I did my first cycle, which was it was an oral cycle. It was oral only. It was debowl, debowl. I did that for like 8 weeks, I think it was. I put on something like 20 pounds,
Mhm.
and 19 pounds of that was water for sure. It's like, um, yeah, and then I went on a proper cycle, a test only cycle, injectable, and then yeah, kind of really developed my physique to where I thought I could transition into bodybuilding. That's what I did in 2017. That was my next show. Did classic bodybuilding with PCA, and then won that show. Um, and that's kind of how I fell into it. Yeah.
you were with, I mean, before you went to PCA, you was like FitX.
So FitX I didn't do till 2021.
All right.
PCA is what I'd always done. I did 4 shows with PCA up until my 2021 season, uh, where I got my pro card and did FitX in amongst all that as well. Yeah.
So it was a back-to-back show.
2021 was 5 shows back to back, week after week. Yeah.
So I mean,
And I will never, ever, ever do that again in my life. Ever. The most stupidest thing you could possibly do.
how many back-to-back do you do?
So it was literally 4 shows,
Mhm.
one after another each weekend. And then I had a 2 week break between the fourth show and the fifth show, which was the British final PCA, where I got the British title, and then my pro card. So in 6 weeks, I did 5 shows.
Damn.
Crazy.
Yeah, that's one
Yeah,
word.
yeah, crazy. Yes.
What was going through the mind? Is it because of uh the choice of trying to earn that PCA Pro card that you're willing to put yourself into that extreme measures?
Yeah, I'm a bit of a sucker for punishment. I like
You see that?
yeah, I like pushing my body and the limits as far as it can go. I like testing to see where that limit is.
Mhm.
I'd done 2 shows prior to that back to back in previous seasons, and it wasn't too challenging as preps go. Um, and I guess you go on a bit of a streak, right? All of those shows
Mhm.
that I
Mhm.
won, bar one, which was the fourth show, which was a British final in Fitex. The rest of those shows that I won. So it becomes addictive then, right? Because you just want to
Yep.
keep chasing that high. You want to keep getting that feeling of winning. Um, so yeah, don't get me wrong, like you're hurting inside. It's
Mm.
it's tough. The
Yeah.
body is like shutting down. It's not healthy. You kind of having a daily mental battle with yourself. Am I good enough? Can I continue? Should I continue? Is enough enough? But yeah, I just carried on, and yeah, that's all she wrote.
All right. You got any question for Sean? Sorry.
Uh, at what point of time after the last show that you realize that probably you might need a longer break after doing the crazy back-to-back shows?
What you mean? Like after that shot, after
Yeah.
that stint, how
Yeah.
long did I take
You,
off?
yeah, correct.
So I haven't actually competed since 2021.
Wow.
I haven't done
Okay.
any shows since turning pro in 2021. I
Hmm.
did another prep in 2023 where I got to 5 weeks out, and then I pulled that prep at 5 weeks out. Although I probably looked about 2 weeks out with my condition.
Hmm.
I was very, very lean. But even at 5 weeks out, that was from my first projected show. My main show wasn't for another 9 weeks from that point. And
Okay.
I got to a point in that where sleep was so far compromised. I
Yeah.
started feeling like hallucinations and things like that where
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it just because I'm nearly 40 now, you become a little bit smarter, a little bit wiser, and
You're still
it's not
you're
as
still young.
important as what it was when I was, in 2020 or 2021 when I was going for the pro card. I was a little bit younger. I was hungrier for the success, if you like, a little bit more. And it was the most important thing for me to achieve back then. But like now, like it's not like I see what it is, and
Right.
my
True.
health is more precious to me. My time is more precious to me than a plastic trophy.
True.
Um,
True.
and yeah, but with that said, I do want to compete again for sure. Um, Probably in 2027, probably, maybe.
Okay.
You
Yeah.
serious?
Okay.
Hey,
One more question for you.
yeah.
You're saying you're already 40. Next year I'll be 50. If you were to be at my age, would you still be competing?
How old are you?
Next year I'll be 50.
You're 50 next year.
Correct.
You're 49 currently.
Yes.
You do not look 49. So,
Yes. I
first of
get
all,
that.
I need to say that.
I get that a lot.
If I look as good as you at 49, I'll be very happy.
The thing is, at what point uh in your career, let's say you want to do one more show, right?
Hmm.
If you think midway to the show, to the prep, you realize that, look, my body's not taking it. Would you stop or just suck it up and go?
Well, that's precisely what I did, you know,
Mm-hmm.
2 years ago. 5 weeks out, it's not worth it. It's not
Yeah.
worth it. My mindset 5 years ago wouldn't have let that happen. I would have
True.
continued. I would have
Correct.
pushed on. I would have got the show done,
Yep.
regardless of whatever cost. I would have done
Yeah.
it. I think as you get older, things become more important, and um, the for me the drive also isn't as strong as what it was.
True.
Like when I was chasing to become a pro,
Mm-hmm.
the hunger was burning
Yeah.
consistently, like throughout the process. Every training session, every gram of food I was eating, everything was just like it was very robotic. And then, kind of since that, it's felt more of a job and a chore than it has an enjoyment in hobby.
Yeah. True.
No,
You don't enjoy it anymore.
not that I don't enjoy it. I just certainly don't enjoy it as much as I was when I
Yes.
was
Yes.
sort of, yeah. Yeah, they say that phrase, don't they? That the wolf that's climbing the hill isn't is as hungry as the wolf at the top, or something along those
True.
lines.
Correct. Spot on.
Uh, yeah. So I think it's all person dependent when you're asking
Mhm.
if you're asking about yourself. Um, you got to think what's in. Oh, who's that handsome chap there? That there, I remember that was deep in prep in 2023. The one with the monster hoodie on for sure, the blue monster hoodie.
This one?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that was on a refeed day. That was about 8 weeks out, I think.
Nice.
Oh, is this on Google?
Yeah, it's on Google. You're famous.
Yes.
All right.
You can find anything on Google.
This is your pro in, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that was 2020. That was
How many weeks out is this? Sorry, wait,
that one there. Yeah, so that was 90. So that was close. That was 1 week post. Look, that one.
No, this is post
It says
show.
like post. Yeah, that was 1 week post British. Um, Yeah, it's mad when I look at that picture. When I look at those pictures now, especially my quads, especially the slingshot pose,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
how stringy and small my quads look there. And then when I competed when I prepped in 2023,
Yep.
the size of my quads, they look double the size of that with the same condition. Yeah, it's crazy. There's you there, Rio, on the left.
This guy, this lousy person.
Oh,
You mean this guy?
yeah.
Oh well, this podcast is more about you, bro. Don't worry.
I remember that as well. Coming over to Bangkok to we had a good time in Bangkok.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
remember.
Tell me about this. All right. I mean, with that say and stuff, like knowing what you've been doing. I mean, from starting on your first show, I mean, were you prepping by yourself or your buddy is helping you, or who have you been working with? I mean, throughout your journey and stuff. And fast forward, let's say you're coming back on 2027, who would be the one that you're looking at into, and what kind of coach are you looking into? I mean, this will be exclusive since you say that you're coming back. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, like I said earlier, like the world and business of prep coaching wasn't a thing when I first started getting into it. It really, really wasn't. And now it's a big business. Like every man and his dog is a coach these days. You know, you do one show and then you start advertising your services the day after is the kind of
Yep.
way the world is at the moment. When I first got into it, there was maybe one or two people that you knew in the whole area that were kind of had some experience with getting people to stage. And my first experience with a coach was a really, really poor and negative one, which actually gave me the drive to become a coach myself. That's the whole reason why I did it because of the poor experience that I had with this coach for my
Was it a
first show
buddy?
in mental. What's that?
Was it a buddy, a friend? I mean, that you know?
No, no. So he was an actual bodybuilding coach. That's what he did for a living. He was recommended to me by a friend, and yeah, some friend that was. Basically, he dropped me 3 weeks out from my show. He got rid of me 3 weeks out because I
Huh.
was asking too many questions.
What's too many questions?
Well, you know me, Ria. I'm a thirst for education and
Yeah,
knowledge,
yeah, yeah,
right?
true.
So, like, regardless of that, that's who I am. That's in my DNA. That's my makeup. I like to ask lots of questions, so I understand situations, and
Yep.
I can further my own education. As I think we all should do that. But yeah, he didn't like the fact. I think he thought maybe I was questioning his methods. I
You were
don't know.
instigating him, I guess.
Yeah,
But
but
yeah,
I was paying him money and I wanted to learn from him as
yeah,
well.
yeah,
But
yeah.
he got really really annoyed and said, "Look, you're too much. Do the rest on your fucking own. See you later."
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, it's a good thing that we touch on questions. I mean, sorry, I believe you come across this as well.
Yeah,
So,
many times.
to
And
ask you, Sean and Sari, just opinion,
mm,
just a wide opinion. I mean, what is a good question and what is a stupid questions that a coach should entertain and not entertain?
uh look, I came across something on social media. Uh the fact that someone asks you for, regardless of whether it's your athlete or anyone
Mm-hmm.
in regards to training and so on and so forth, right?
Yeah.
The fact that they made the effort to ask you,
Yep.
then asking Mr. Google, right? That
Yeah.
means they have that respect towards you that you know better than Mr. Google. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
to me, even though some people might think that the person's asking a stupid question, yes, I still answer that stupid question because the fact that he approached me to ask me that particular question where he can easily take out his phone, Google it, and he will get it, right? So to me, it's more of like making sure he gets the right info
All right.
coming from someone who probably, I mean, I have experience in the subject matter. So probably he will learn from there. And if he wants or decides to go back to Mr. Google, then at least he can compare the
Understand.
answers given, right? So more something like on the ground, right? Rather than Google or AI will give him the answer. So it still depends on him in terms of how he would digest that answer. All right. So to me, no stupid question, no annoying question, but there are a few, but I still answer them.
All right. And what's your take, Sean?
Yeah, I totally agree in the sense that I don't think there is any stupid questions. Although there are moments when I do read something from a client, I think, "Are you fucking stupid?"
True. True.
But like that's just like that might be because I've had a bit of a shitty day or a bad morning, and I've
Yeah,
just
yeah,
looked. You can't work that out for yourself.
yep,
Seriously,
yep,
you
true.
can't answer that question.
Yeah, yeah.
But no, I totally agree that there is no such thing as a stupid question, and because of my own thirst for knowledge, I encourage people to ask me as many questions, and I will give them a detailed voice note as to why we're using a certain supplement or why we're doing this with the food or why your body's responded this way that you're unsure of. I will always give a detailed response back, and that's part of the coaching service, right? That's why they're paying you money,
Yep.
is to learn the ultimately these people are coming to us to get a physical result, an aesthetic result, right? But that's a given. That should be a given, right? That's easy.
Mm-hmm.
Like anybody should be able to do that. Like
Mhm.
what they're really paying for from a decent coach is your experience and your knowledge
Mm-hmm.
and the education that you can bring to these people.
All right.
Like getting a physique is a byproduct of your service. That should be a given. But I think the quality of coaches now has been kind of diluted in terms of the standard. The standard isn't very good anymore. I think because it's so easy to become one.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
Literally, you can just
Mhm.
set up a social media page, put you're a coach,
Mm-hmm.
because you've done well in one show, that would
Mm-hmm.
attract people. But I think it will only attract people for so long. Like you can only fool people for so long
Yep.
Mhm.
before people start to realize, okay, well, I'm not getting anything here. I'm not moving anywhere. I'm not gaining no knowledge, no experience. My physique isn't changing.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't take long for people then to recognize what a good coach is and a poor coach is.
Yeah, that's a good one. I mean, to expand on that, I mean, what do you guys think in terms of hiring a coach? Does I mean like Sean mentioned, result is a must, right? So in terms of hiring a coach, which is much more, I would say, uh important, getting the result or going through the process and bringing an athlete through the process from step A, step B, step C, etc., etc. So is it if let's say the result didn't happen, so is the coach to be blamed or an athlete to be
Yeah,
blamed?
I see what you're
That's an
saying.
open
Yeah,
question. Yeah, just to go across the board for the audience.
I think that's always a possibility that you're not going to get the result that you hope for, and everybody hopes they're going to win a show, right? That's the ultimate dream for every aspiring athlete, and sometimes that doesn't happen. And you can come in the very best that you possibly can. There's not a single thing that you could have done differently. The peak went smoothly. It went, as good as you could want to be on show day and still get beat. Yeah, that's just part and parcel in the nature of the sport. Whose fault is it? Sometimes it's just nobody's fault,
Hmm.
right? It's just one of those things. And if you as the client has done everything on your part that you can possibly do right, and the coach has done everything that they can possibly do to bring you in your best, and you still don't win, that's happened for a fundamental reason.
Yep.
Not anything that the coach or the client has done. The reason why you haven't won that show is because the level of the physique that were in front of you is better.
Yep.
That means you have to spend more time developing your physique, improving your level of muscularity, or whatever it is. Okay. I spoke about this other week that whether you're a first timer, it's your first show, the one thing that you can control is the level of condition that you bring to a show. Whether you have vast levels of muscularity and size or not, there's no need or reason why you shouldn't be coming to a show peeled and skinned. Because if you come into a show and you're soft and you don't have the level of muscularity, you got no chance. And then whose fault is it?
Mm.
Who's to blame there? It's it's someone within the in that coach or the client's realm. It's not anything to do with anyone else. Um, but I think, going back to the question, I think the process is very important. I think you learn so much going through a prep about yourself. I think it installs so many great attributes at a human level in terms of, you know, going without, you know, installing some level of humbleness within gratitude. I think all these things are great attributes that you can receive at a human level, which then you can project onto other people in life. So bodybuilding brings so many good traits to as a sport. And I think if you do it properly, you gain all these new additions to you as a person.
For sure.
So I think the process is super important, and I think if you've got a good coach on your side, he will navigate you down that road very, very well.
So now we're gonna dive in deeper in terms of Sean. I mean, where he's from. I mean, how's bodybuilding scene as in Birmingham in UK as a whole for you?
I think not just the Birmingham or the UK, but I think bodybuilding as a sport now is just completely exploded
Mhm.
across the globe. I think there's the level of volume of individuals that are now competing, even from just like 2 or 3 years ago. I'd love to see some facts and figures on this actually in
Okay.
terms of the volume because you can't even go to a gym these days, just a regular gym, without someone asking, when are you competing? When are you doing a show?
True.
That wasn't a thing like 7 or 8 years ago.
Yep, yep.
You know,
Yep.
you'd probably just, have one person in the gym that competed, and now, it's gone right the other way. And you think about PCA shows, the volume of numbers that you have in each show now, you know, a typical show is 200 plus athletes. Some
Mhm.
of their first timer shows are 400 or 500 athletes in one show. So I think it's ever growing, it's ever expanding. Um, is the quality and standard correlating with that rise in competitors? I think that's open for debate, right? I don't know what you guys think on that is in terms of, is the quality of athletes matching the volume that's coming through?
Well, I
Uh,
mean, you go first, sorry.
okay. If you talk about globally, I think I guess because the knowledge that they get from social media, hiring coaches, the standard has been, I would say, okay, right? But when you boil down to like Singapore standard, I'm not trying to diss anyone. Local shows here, we can we can do better,
Yeah,
right? Yeah, the thing is that over here the culture is more of like I can get everything from social media, YouTube, or from another bro to another bro kind of thing. So the investment in terms of getting a proper coach is not there. So hence sometimes you see the quality of guys on stage. I mean, look, it's their first time. I can give it to them. Props up to them that they trying to do this. I mean, if they were to actually save it up, right? Hold on for a year or two, then get a proper coach, get yourself all properly done up, and you go on stage, then there will be a better standard on that. And that will probably resonate down or trickle down the line when everybody else start to see,
yeah,
oh, probably this is the standard I need to bring onto the stage here locally. And
yeah,
also, I mean, the mindset here need to change. That's the only issue. But sometimes these guys, okay, look, you might be lucky. you do on your own, you win that show, right? Then you think, okay, why not I go overseas? That's where the problems comes in. Then they start to blame, blame this, blame that. Actually, you need to have more years.
That's when they'll get found out when they
Correct.
go towards and the standard increases, and then it's like, oh shit,
Yeah,
maybe I'm
oops.
not as good as what I thought I
Hmm.
was.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, I mean, it is by the sounds of it, what you're saying, it's much bigger in the UK and Europe and
True.
America, the coaching business for sure. I still get people messaging me, want things for free. In fact, I had a coaching inquiry the other day. This young lad, he was, I won't say who it was, but I think he was 16 or 17,
Hmm.
and he told me he was already in prep. He'd already started prep, and he asked if I could just do him a diet plan.
Throughout for till show day.
He'll show that just a diet plan, no training plan, no weekly check-ins, no help with posing or presentation. Just wants a diet plan.
But how did he
That,
start
that's
with
crazy.
preparation whereby he doesn't have a plan at all? No idea, eh?
Yep.
No idea.
All
I
right.
said
Sometimes,
I asked him to send me some visuals just because I thought he was really interested. Like
Yeah,
maybe he'd go full coaching once I tried to explain to him and expand. It's a
yeah.
little bit more diet plan that's needed here for you to get to your first show. And yeah, I mean, he didn't have a bad little physique, but he couldn't obviously pose. He didn't know what posing was per se. Didn't
Mhm.
even own a pair of trunks. Like so, he started prep. He doesn't know how to pose. He hasn't got a pair of trunks,
Yeah.
but he's competing in 15 weeks' time.
For what? MPP?
I can't remember what federation it was. I can't remember. Yeah, but you get some people like that for sure. But I try and install in anyone that signs up with me that is looking. And you know, Rio, I've taken so many people from lifestyle
Yep.
clients to first timers to overall champions. In fact, I've done it with Jay 2 weeks
Yeah, yeah,
ago.
yeah. I just wanted to
He won
talk
the overall
to him.
sword.
Yeah.
And you know, I install it in these guys very, very quickly how important posing and presentation is. You know, how you present your physique, the way that you pull shapes on stage and show your X frame and be the most aesthetic you can be. Because, you know, we've seen it before. You can have the best physique and hide it with your posing and it not come to fruition on stage, and
Yeah.
you lose out there. So, you know, coaching people need to realize that it's so much more than just a diet plan and a training plan.
Mhm.
There's making decisions at crucial times. There's making adjustments with whether it's foods, training, PED cycles, even timelining things, you know, from doing a constructive off season to making sure you pull back during that off season to
Yep.
going into a bit of a health phase, then a pre-prep phase, like the kids call it now, then a
Mhm.
prep phase. You know, it's a whole fucking business and structure in it for these guys. And you know, I think a lot of people they dismiss what actually goes in and what's needed to get someone from point A to stage.
All right. I mean, currently, I mean, you had Jay who started off this season for SMB, right?
Hmm.
I mean, he wants his classic class, his bodybuilding, and overall for classic or bodybuilding.
Bodybuilding.
Well, I mean, honestly, he looks good though, when prior to what you post on social media and stuff. So, I mean, what's his plan next? And I'll see you had like a handful of, I mean, new athletes whereby coming in with great frame, great line, decent, I would say, muscle bellies and stuff. So, what's the plan for them, and what's your expectation for this season?
So Jay's competing tomorrow again with his second
Yeah,
show.
Louis.
He's going into a novice class tomorrow. Probably be his last show of the year before we reverse out, get healthy, and go into an extensive off season. His first proper off season
Hmm.
from a post show rebound standpoint. where we know that athletes can make, great progress in that initial post show rebound where the body's hyper responsive to small amounts of PDs, higher nutrition values, a new training stimulus. So we're looking forward to that after his showing tomorrow. And then it's just with him just to add more size and more tissue, certainly in specific areas like his arms and his back thickness and density, which we know will just come with more time in the process.
How tall is
Uh,
he?
how tall?
Yeah.
He's only about 2'6". He's only small.
What's his weight? Stage weight or a day before?
He'll kill me for saying that. He's about 5 foot. I think he's about 5'9". He's a little bit smaller than me, 5'8", something like that, I'd say.
Mhm.
He weighed in this morning at 85, but that was after a load day. So he's been sitting fully baselined about 82, 83 kilo. That was flat. And then obviously we push up from there with carb loading. And then I've got my classic guy, Iron Nut, which I think you've seen,
Yeah, yeah,
the
yeah.
guy that slingshot pose.
He looks sick though.
Yeah, he's got, like you said, he's got beautiful lines of
Mhm.
separation through the quads, beautiful structure and shape, like genetically put together perfectly for classic bodybuilding. He's showing his next weekend. That's his first ever show he's done. And then we've got a PCA pro qualifier at the end of August, which we're just going to put him in, and we're going to see how close he is, how far away he is. Um, in my opinion, he's good enough to go there and get his pro card, I believe. He just has it. He has that shape, that structure, those beautiful clean lines through the quad separation, deep vacuum, beautiful silhouette, classic. And if he can just work and continue to develop his posing and presentation, I think he'll be pretty close for that card at the end of August.
Nice.
Um, if not, at least we know then what needs to be done in order to acquire that card.
All right. So
And then
there were three to four athletes this year.
so I've got four. Yeah, I've got four athletes. I've got another guy competing
Any
at
ladies?
the Welsh show. A guy called Luca, bodybuilder, huge frame, um, but really mad proportions in terms of a tiny waist, big quads. So he's going to be pretty sick on stage once he's fully peeled and fully loaded. And then I got a first timer who we haven't set a date for yet, but he's classic tall. So he's going to be later on in the year. And
How about
yeah,
the dude? He looks like Mason Mount. Men's physique.
Westy,
Yeah, West.
Westy,
Yeah, yeah.
Mason Mount. Yeah, yeah, he
Is he
does
coming
look.
back to fight for his pro card in PCA for men's physique? He looked good though. I mean, from where he started off and
Yeah, for sure.
yeah.
He's one of the guys for next year for sure.
Oh, I see.
Uh, like I said, I've got 4 or 5 men's physique guys for next year. 6 men's physique guys next year. I've got a load of girls competing next year. Wellness, bikini, figure potentially. And then classic and bodybuilding. Yeah, about 20 next year, which worked out quite nice because, as you know, the missus had a baby recently.
Yeah.
So
Right,
it's
right.
worked out quite nice that I didn't have like 30, 40 shows to go to this year.
Yep.
So that worked out quite nice, I guess. But yeah, really kind of excited for the remainder of the year. Because the standard just seems to be getting better each year with my guys, which as a coach is what you strive for
Yep.
is just better athletes, better standards. And that comes from, a working partnership of A, me improving my craft, my skill,
True.
and B, the athlete being more regimented, more disciplined,
Yep.
and you kind of attract a better athlete as well.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. I mean,
You,
with
you look you look
with
you
result.
look at Callum, the pro coach.
Yep, become a pro
He,
coach.
he didn't just wake up one day and the level of caliber of coaches he works,
Yeah.
the clients that he works with. He started with, let's say, lesser names, lesser physiques 10 years ago.
Yep.
and he developed his craft, got better and better and better, and now he's got IFBB pro cards and Olympia
Yeah,
standouts coming out of his ears. So yeah, it just as long as you're continuing to develop your craft and your skill,
yeah,
you're always gonna improve the level and caliber of athlete that you work with.
yeah. I always believe, I mean, be it being an athlete and a coach, I mean, it takes this sport, this profession itself, improvement take over time. You know,
Mm.
a lot of walk the talk, a lot of learning, a lot of educating yourself, going through that experience firsthand to really know how to maneuver and mitigate things, having to troubleshoot and improve yourself from there. Yeah, it's not an overnight thing whereby, oh, I compete today, I'll win today. Tomorrow I'm open to prep any average Joes and stuff. Oh, all right, I'll charge you $50 for a month, and I promise you to win the show. We start with
Yeah,
1,000 mg of tests. We start with 8 weeks out of using trend. You know, you know what I'm saying? Oh well.
thousand mg. That's crew. Is that TRT crew size?
That's my
Okay.
title.
I mean,
I'm TRT.
yeah. I mean, with a handful of clients that you have, I mean, male and female, right? I mean, just curious. I mean, with your audience, uh, will probably want love to know. I mean, how you basically handle the ladies in terms of competing and stuff. How different and how hard for you to handle handful of male and having ladies to have a different kind of vision and look and protocol to help the ladies to get the result going through the journey and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to sound, it's kind of strange because I don't tend to treat them any differently than a male.
Yeah, yeah. Sure, no worries. I mean,
But biologically different, yeah. Hormonally
yeah,
different, yeah. But in terms of, let's say, building muscle and tissue, the raw mechanics of that process don't differ whether you're male, female,
yep,
cat, dog, rodent, fish. The mechanics is the same, like you've got to train to progressive overload, force a stimulus, and you have to eat the sufficient amount of nutrition and get adequate rest to elicit that response. Yes, hormones are different. They come into play when we think about, estrogen versus testosterone and in between. Um, Mentally, the mental comparisons between coaching women and men, I think women can take a lot more punishment than men.
true,
True.
but
Correct. Correct. True.
what okay, hold your thoughts. I mean, I totally agree with you. But nonetheless, I'm not sure about you, Sari or Sean, if you heard about this, but I believe you came across this. He says, she says, and whereby they say that, oh, women have to train differently. Women doesn't have to be putting more crazy progress overloading with the women need to train in terms of more isolation and stuff like that. So what your takes on that? I believe you heard that before. Yeah,
Look,
so,
I have the okay. I used to train one lady, right? She did something of category called sport physics, right? So I did a few sessions like one on one, right, to make sure that she get dialed in and
mhm.
the amount, or rather the right kind of intensity in terms of training. And mind you, she was crying at the leg press, and she's still wrapping it up. Some of my guys, they don't cry, they tap out. And mind you, these guys are seasoned trainers or trainers,
Yeah,
seasoned athletes. She keep on wrapping it while still crying.
Yeah,
I'm like, okay. And imagine I made her do hammer strength leg press with two plates each side, 40 kilo, 40 kilo, wrapping up 50 reps. She's still crying.
yeah,
And then after that, she has issues walking for a few days, and she's fine.
but she still finished the reps and the set.
Yes, yes,
Alright.
yes, yes.
Yeah,
And with
this is what I mean. Like females have a higher pain threshold than
Yeah,
men for sure.
definitely.
right.
They can go through far more worse hardship
Mm.
than males. Of that's just my experience
Yeah.
anecdotally working
Yeah,
with male and female people.
same here.
Uh, they can go through prep with a lot less food
Mhm.
retrospectively to
Mm.
their individual needs for a lot longer than what a man can without whinging and complaining and
Yeah,
bitching and
yeah,
They
yeah.
crying.
asking you when is the cheat meal,
Where's the
coach?
cheap?
Yeah, because I mean,
Yeah,
why I'm asking this is because I mean that's like I said that he says she says, the theory goes around. Oh, uh, a female client you can't train them with a major uh progress overloading and stuff. You need to focus on isolation, a lot of this and stuff. I mean, what I always believe in stuff like you mentioned, Sean. I mean, in terms of the the, I would say the differences between a male and a female in terms of prepping and stuff. The first primary thing is the main thing would just be the hormones. The rest should be applicable as similar as the male in terms of training intensity, training splits, exploitation of cardio, etc. and etc. And yeah, definitely two things different will be the hormones. And if we were talking about PEDs also would be slightly different from a male approach.
yeah, for sure. And look, there's so many myths and misconstrues on social media about bodybuilding. Like the one thing that still baffles me today that people say that doing the stairmaster is going to make your legs smaller. It's like, right, okay, let's should we delve into that a little bit
Yeah,
more?
yeah, sure, 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 sure. It's an
The
interesting one though.
the myth that doing the stairmaster deep into prep is going to shrink your legs or make your legs look stringy and small. All right. We'll tell that to Ronnie Coleman and Jay Cutler. Okay, they used to do 2 hours a day stairmaster,
Yep.
stair mill. Right, their legs looked all right to me at the Mr. Olympia. But you look at cyclists like
Mm.
the velodrome cyclists
Yep,
where
yep,
they're
yep.
going round
The
and
German
round.
guy. Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Have you seen the size of their quads?
Yep.
They're
Insane.
huge, massive, massive, huge. Right. So, and if you think about it logically, it's a constant stimulus, right? You're constantly pumping blood in there. So it's exercise. How can
Yep.
exercise make your legs smaller? Like systematically, it just doesn't make sense. But this is the power of social media. One person says one thing, everyone jumps on it, and then it has to be true, you know. But
I
yeah,
would
this
say
again,
the
I guess
idea
is
has been misled though.
what's that?
The idea of, I mean, putting someone onto Stairmaster has been misleading due to individual who can't bear that digging into that from the 8 weeks out when things get harder, when we need to dig it in a bit deeper if the food is low and stuff, so they feel that. And then when we bring the food low, when the glycogen starts to deplete and stuff, and you're not depleting that muscle, you're just emptying the muscle belly. Yeah. So that's where when the mind hit it, when they feel fatigued and they feel exhausted, they look into the mirror, they don't feel pumped. That's where I guess this quote unquote, I would say, excuse would rises and say, "Oh no, my legs getting smaller and stuff."
Yeah, yeah. No, it's right, and you have to go through that period of emptying glycogen
Yeah.
stores to reveal new condition. If you are continuously full with high glycogen through excessive carbohydrate or sugar intake,
Yep.
your body has no excuse to burn fat because you're constantly topping it up with food
Right.
all the time. So you have to go through that mental capacity of feeling flat and small in
Mm-hmm.
order to reveal the new condition that's going to be earned. But some people they can't get past that. And this is why you get these yo-yo dieters. Yo-yo dieters
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yep.
that they don't make any progress at all.
Yeah.
So they'll diet for like 5 days, and then Saturday and Sunday they'll eat shit ton of food. so they're the same weight as what they started on Monday because they feel like they're getting too small. So
Yeah,
they
yeah.
have to eat a lot of food to feel bigger, but their condition isn't changing because they're just going round and round and round and round like that. And this is why bodybuilding as a process works, because you prep for 20 weeks and you just continuously reduce your food. So you if you follow it properly, you're gonna get skinned at the end of it. You're gonna get lean. That's why as a concept it works.
True, for sure. All
But
right.
I guess some people do not want to understand it or finding excuses not to look flat. Right.
I
So
mean,
I
I
have
mean,
some experiences where they will come back to me, look, coach, I look really flat and I think I'm losing muscle mass. When I one word, flat is good, fat is not good. As
yeah,
simple as
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
See?
yeah.
yeah. I mean, what I want to say and stuff is stuff. All right, it's okay. All right. So the next thing is basically, uh, just want to your point of view in terms of, I mean, you're PCA pro. You've been doing PCA for quite a while and stuff. I mean, have you ever thought about stepping into the Prestige League, the IFBB, and what do you think about the differences about sending clients on PCA and sending clients on IFBB? Just a fruit for thoughts, yeah. Because
So
trust me, okay, hold on. Trust me, I mean, my audience would love to know, man, why are you always talking about PCA? Why not IFBB and stuff? Because
Hmm.
everyone is so consumed with being IFBB pro,
Yep.
and for me, I mean, there's nothing wrong between each federation and stuff. It's just that everyone have their own goals, their own journey, what they are looking for and stuff. And some are just plainly delusional that they think that they can just stand beside Chris Bumstead with a slingshot pose and win a show. Yeah,
Yep.
that's what I see. Yeah, so that's why I'm putting these questions. Yeah, so to for us to just brain it through.
I think first of all, what you said then kind of hit the nail on the head is it's very goal dependent.
Yep,
What is your goal?
yep,
If your goal is to become an IFBB pro, that's the route you go down. You have to do an NPC show
yep.
and
Mm.
you have to go down that route if that's what your goal is. If your life is consumed of getting an actual IFBB pro card,
Be it, right?
fair be it. Like that's for you. More to you. Like in terms of you asking me the question, why haven't I gone down that route? One is age. Like I said, I'm nearly 40 now.
Yep.
If I was in my early 20s and I possessed the physique that I do now or did in 2023, might be a different story. I may have pursued the IFBB card pro route and seen where it had taken me, but as I got my PCA pro card in 2021, I was already 36. So there was no real point in me pursuing an IFBB pro card where I would have to push my body to physiological boundaries again and beyond
Mm.
with drugs, food.
Mm.
What's the point, at nearly 40? There's no real need for that for me. Um, I'm not a fan of the NPC or certainly Two Bros ethics with the way that they run things. Some of the stuff that I've seen online, not a fan. But if a client was to come to me and said they wanted to go for an IFBB Pro card, of course I'd go for it. I'd push them for it. But I prefer the PCA shows because how they're run, they're very fair. The experience for the athlete is far greater than Two Bros NPC shows. They're more efficiently run as well. I think the treatment is better, and ultimately the prize money is better as well now. You can get £3,000 per pro show, and I think there's potentially 10 pro shows this year.
Mhm.
So you know you can win 30 grand just by competing with PCA in a 12-month period, potentially if you won all your pro shows in your in
Yeah.
your in your class. So that is why I've always sort of um been down the PCA path rather than anyone else. But if a client wanted to go for their card IFBB route, I'd be for it. Yeah, I'd help and push them.
Yeah, yeah, fair enough. I mean, for from my point of view, I would say that the only thing I would say, uh, the difference is that the thing that I don't like the approach of MPC, maybe it's due to their regionals, because the regionals have no standard base in terms of, I believe Sean, you know that for PCA regional you need to win the top three, or let's say if you're off the top three but your physique are deemed to qualify for the pro qualifiers, then you'll get a special invitation. But if you're top three to win that regional, you automatically uh invite to the pro qualifier itself. But for MPC regional is different, right? As once you sign up for regional, be it you get the last placing, you are
You go for the
qualified to
pro.
the pro qualifier. So I've that's the downside. Okay, for me, I mean, I'm nothing against the federation or how they run that. It's just that for me, I feel that put the standard low in terms of, and it's just more business wise, whereby athletes who's going there tend to get delusional and thinking that, oh, okay, I just need to be here, and some are prepping half up at 50 or 30%, thinking, oh, I just get into the show, get
Exactly.
that qualification so I can do a pro qualifier. Because from my point of view and how I prep into the show and how I advise my clients, my athlete to do so as well. I mean, every show is very important. Even it's regional, we need to bring at least 100% on stage so we know how far are we from becoming or to getting where we want to be. You know,
Yeah.
it's not
Um.
half fucking into it's just a regional show. Just we go in
Yeah.
with 20% body fat. It's okay. You know? Yeah. So
Even
yeah.
even like when people say they're doing like warm up shows now, they'll do. Oh, this was a warm up show.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah, yeah,
like,
yeah, true.
and the glutes are still soft and soggy. It's like, no,
I mean,
it just you should be going into every show at least 95% in, at
yeah, because
least.
because you want to get, I mean, you can write me if I'm wrong. I mean, this warm-up show is for you to get this feedback for you to get better. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because if you're gonna go in like what you say with soft glutes and not even 50%, I mean, how do you want to get that information to ensure that okay, this is a thing that we need to tweak to ensure that we sharpen this look to get a pro cut. You know what I'm saying?
They can't give you feedback if you still look 8 weeks out. If you go
That's
into a warm up show looking 8 weeks out, what feedback can they give you
exactly.
apart from your 8 weeks out? Like, get back on the fucking stairmaster.
Yep, yep. What do you think, Zary?
I, to me, look, firstly, uh, I've already said this many times. So, I mean, privately, if you have to do,
Inclusive now.
if you have to do an NPC regional, right? Just say you pay registration, the tanning, and everything easily. Okay, put it in Singapore dollars. But if you travel overseas, close to $500, right? And you come in not conditioned and everything. First, I find that it's more of a money making machine,
Yep.
right?
100%. Yeah.
Yep. And then secondly, it gives look it this favors the people or family members that actually come to see the show, and they charge X amount of money for that. No, then
True.
you standing on stage looking like that, and then imagine your wife, family, your mates and everything are there, and they look at you like, okay, is this how bodybuilding shows are gonna look like? And
Mm.
then if you
Yeah.
go for the pro qualifiers, then you're gonna pay X amount of money again, and then
Mm.
you so called you're gonna look good. So you think the family members or your mates are gonna watch this again? Huh? So
Yeah.
that's you doing a big disfavor for yourself, and also to the coach and to the whole federation itself. That be it is a money making machine, what not. But if you look at the whole sport itself, please at least do yourself some justice and some respect for yourself, respect for the people that come over the show, pay like probably 50 Singapore dollars or even $100 to watch you to stand on stage. But you're looking like as if, I think like Sean says, you need to get on that stairmaster for probably 72 hours to peel down yourself. But look, if you're gonna do that, please ask yourself a serious question whether why are you competing? You know what I mean?
Yep.
This is my thoughts.
Agree. 100% agree.
I think the motivation for a lot of people these days to compete is wrong. Like the
Yep,
incentives
true,
is completely
true.
wrong. They don't do it for the love of the sport. They do it for the love of the clout that they're going to
Mm.
get from Instagram for those sexy
Yep,
show pictures that they put
yep.
up.
Definitely.
They don't really enjoy the process too much. They're
Mm.
always whinging and complaining to everybody that they know for 20 weeks. And then they get on stage for 5 minutes. They get some good pictures that they can put on Instagram where they're going to get 100 likes and 100 comments. Oh, you look amazing. You look brilliant. Well done. All this sort
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, what I've told Sari previously as well. It's like one should understand and have the love for training and the stage like Sari mentioned before as well. I mean, the stage will always be there. I mean, people
Mm.
are just now like Sean mentioned, is just to train to get that abs, post it in social media, and they're not showing when they are fat, their transformation, their journey and stuff. Yeah. So currently right now it's just no longer more about loving that training, sitting in the gym, warming up yourself mentally, physically, and push through that an hour or two or three even in the gym to train. While it's just about
Yeah.
just pumping, getting the pump and move out of the gym for the Instagram. That's what I feel.
it's so right. Just the whole gym culture is different now. It's so like the amount of people that I see in the gym spending more time setting up a fucking tripod than they do setting up their mind
Yeah.
to the job that they need to be doing with the set.
Yep.
It's and you see these girls, right? Like the phone. They
No,
get the phone.
you're getting comfortable with this topic.
Getting pictures of the glutes in the mirror, and it's like that's fine. Like at the end of the workout, but
Yep.
you
Yeah,
see
yeah.
they're doing it like mid-workout, mid-set, like, and they're doing it after every exercise. Oh, it's just yeah,
Insane.
it's I think social media has a lot to answer for with a
Yep.
lot of things in life, and the demise in the gym environment is one of them.
Look, I agree to a certain point where look, I do train myself, and at this age, I still push as hard as I can. Imagine I'm doing a single arm bend over dumbbell row, right? I'm looking at the dumbbell sitting down there. I'm thinking, am I gonna fuck this shit up? I'm gonna aim for probably like 50 kilo dumbbells or even 60 kilo dumbbells. I'm gonna row probably 10, 12 reps for that. Then I see guys, and then they will pick up the same weight that they use for the all three sets.
Yeah, yeah,
After that, after doing that, stand at the mirror, selfie. Well, me dripping in sweat, looking at him.
yeah, yeah.
Damn.
But their
And
their thumbs are bigger than yours.
yeah, yes. And these are the same people
The thumbs are
I work
jacked.
in the gym, right? They will ask me, bro, how do you get big? Oh, wow. Spend less time with the phone, right? And probably work your way up in the dumbbells. The rows are there. Work your
Yeah,
way up the big boys dumbbells,
yeah.
right?
And then the next time you see them in the gym, they haven't listened to a single word that you
Nope,
told them.
nope,
Back to the
nothing.
same way they've been doing it
Yep,
all the way.
yep.
Yeah. No, I know it's frustrating. It's frustrating. And we look like dinosaurs. Like
Yes.
we feel like we're old people
Yeah.
moaning, or back in the day it wasn't like this in
Yeah,
our
yeah,
time and all.
yeah,
We
yeah.
feel like these kind of people, but it worked,
Yep,
It
it
worked,
works.
So there has to be something to be said for that.
Yeah. Look, I'm all for social media. I mean, look, the tripod has to go sometimes. I had enough of those tripods all over the way. Look, but if you set it up, I would say respectfully, you're doing it for, let's say, form checking, right? And doing after the workout, your coach needs it. Okay, fine, but not just for the beginning of the set. Warm up
Yeah,
set, you set up the tripod. What the hell for?
yeah, yeah. I think when the tripod is getting more action than the muscle trained, then that's like it's back to front. Then right, it's
Yep.
something's not right.
Very true.
Yeah.
Very true.
And if you're someone whose physique isn't changing, you know, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 weeks down the line, You got to ask yourself some serious questions as to why your physique isn't changing.
Yep.
Um,
You know what? What's the number one excuse?
Coach's fault.
Nope. Oh, it's my genetics. All right,
Genetics.
yeah.
Yeah.
So to finalize this part and stuff. I mean, I mean, I'm not sure. I mean, for Sean, if you feel comfortable to share in terms of, I mean, the reason you basically choose to back out from the scene of stage to retire, so to say. I mean, I believe on the contrary, it is more about the mental health. Yeah, the reason that you pull out of a show and stuff. So I mean, if what I want to basically bring on board to this platform and with basically what you went through back then is to educate and to share with uh all the gym goers, athletes and stuff, uh the importance of mental health,
Hmm.
of making the right choices, and approach matter to think that, I mean, there's always life after bodybuilding. I mean, I'm not saying that, I mean, by doing bodybuilding is not important. I mean, if you're healthy and stuff, everything is in place. Yes, if you have the drive, do it, prep 100%, 200% fully. But I mean, in terms of life after bodybuilding, there's life after bodybuilding. Your life is much more important. Mental health is something is much more vital that can basically divert you s- into something that it's not basically nice in terms of whatever gonna happen at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Yeah. So then we'll touch base on how you overcome that and the turnover of you coming back on 2027.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So
Yeah.
I think I think I think mental health. We could have a whole podcast on just talking about mental health
Yep, true,
as a
true.
thing. Not even my own experience with it. I think it's also in some cases overly used. Mental health in some for some people, especially like anxiety and things like that. People use the word that they're anxious when actually it's just a normal feeling what they're experiencing. Um, for instance, people say that they feel anxious when they're going on a first date or they've got a job interview. This
Mhm.
isn't anxiety. This is just a normal feeling, a human
Yep.
feeling.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
No, this is normal to feel a little bit nervous, This isn't anxiety, this is nervousness. There's a difference between mental health and anxiety and normal human emotion.
Yep.
Um, and also, having a bad day at work or having an argument with your partner and you feeling a bit down from that situation doesn't mean that you've got poor mental health. Okay. It's just you've had a bad day. There's a big difference, I feel. But I think, again, with social media, we've kind of conditioned a lot of society to believe that they've got bad mental health when really they're just experiencing normal life experiences. And, we are allowed to feel a bit down and not as high all the time when we experience these different scenarios in life. Um, so I think that's one thing. With myself, I got diagnosed with borderline personality disorder in 2022. After living with it my entire life, I didn't know that I had this thing called borderline personality disorder, and I sort of self-admitted myself into a hospital and did about 25 hours worth of therapy with a counselor, with a therapist, and did a lot of soul searching, a lot of I guess, revealing unresolved traumas and hidden things from growing up and whatnot. And I did really well. I kind of like had an epiphany with life. A lot of questions were answered about certain things in my life, and I kind of got to a place with my mental health where it was pretty level. It was pretty consistent. And then obviously I did prep in 2023. And then other things came into the play there with work issues with individuals at work, i.e., clients. And then the fact that I was prepping myself, my sleep became very, very compromised to the point I was getting like 45 minutes to an hour a night for about a 5 week period. And then because you're suffering with poor sleep, you're trying to then add supplements in to aid your sleep, prescription
Mm.
medication like Zopicone or things like this, THC. So you're already taking steroids. You're already trying to get better sleep. So your fatigue's high and your recovery shit. Then you're taking stuff on top of that to
Yep.
mitigate that, to compensate that. And then before you know it, you're just your head's not thinking straight. You're scrambled. You're tired. You're exhausted. And then you can start to feel a massive dip in your kind of well-being and your mental health. And that's kind of what we were talking about earlier. Like, how do you know when to say stop? When is enough enough? And I just got to a place in that particular prep where I felt myself changing and I felt myself going and slipping back to a place that I was uncomfortable going to, that I'd not previously been pre counseling, pre therapy. Um, so that's kind of my journey with mental health, and since that, obviously I haven't pushed the envelope too far because I haven't been in another prep since 2023. So I don't know how that will go in 2027 if I do decide to do it. But what I can say is the outcome will be the same if my mental health starts to decline again. I wouldn't continue. I'd just put a stop to it. Um, if I was in my early 20s, I probably wouldn't stop. I'd probably just carry on, because my drive is much more prominent. My ambition level within the sport of personal competitive bodybuilding was much higher. I wanted to do well. I was relentless in my approach in my younger days, but now it's not as important to me. So what's important to me and what should be important to everyone else is mental clarity, um, mental stability, because there's nothing worse than this not working properly as it
Mm.
should, for yourself and everyone around you as well. Because what affects you ripples very fast with your nearest and dearest around you. So I think looking after yourself is primary goal number one. And if there are things that are affecting it and hindering it, and you have control to stop those things affecting it and hindering it, then you put a stop to it for sure.
So I mean, in regards to the the one you had to call it off due to your mental health issue and stuff, you were really deep down in prep for you left with like 5 weeks out. Were you thinking about just going through that prep and just finish it, or what makes you pull the plug in terms of making the decisions? I mean, who do you consult with, or who do you speak with in terms of your issue when you're having that?
I was with I was with this coach at the time,
This is Neutropin, is it?
Troponin,
Neutropin.
Troponin
Yeah,
Nutrition. Yeah,
Neutropin, yeah.
from the US, top guy. His
Yep.
response time as a coach is really poor, waiting 2-3 days sometimes for a response, for a check-in. But his knowledge is second to none, and I learned a lot from him on that front.
Yep.
But yeah, I was being coached by him at the time. I didn't really consult with him too much on that decision,
Hmm.
simply because he's in the US. He
Yep,
would have
yep.
taken too long to come back to me on the question.
Yeah.
So I was speaking with people close to me at the time, still close with me now. People I talk to about, such things. And it was very evident that I was slipping, and it was the right decision at the time. Of course, I was toing and froing. It wasn't an immediate decision to pull that prep.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
was toing and froing for a couple of weeks. The particular day that I said, that's it, it's done. Like, I had a show that day with 3 or 4 clients in one show. and I was already like beaten up. And I went to this show. I had clients acting out, not listening to instructions. They were doing their own thing,
Yeah.
just overall fucking around. And yeah, other things had happened that day as well, which I won't go into on the podcast. Um, but yeah, there was it was one of those days where it was just like, okay, this is definitely a signal now, a sign that this isn't your time. You need to put a stop to it now.
Understand. Because I mean, on my part, I mean, I believe that remember my December show?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I was going through I almost pulled out when remember we had that conversation and stuff. That year was very challenging. I mean, like I mean, one is I mean nothing really particular. I mean, relationship issues. Then my mom s- got into cancer and stuff. Where we are
Hmm.
really pushing. I'm trying to manage things and stuff. I believe it hit me mentally. I hit to a
Hmm.
point whereby I mean I lost my hair as well. It was really depressful. Then yeah, the person that I spoke to, this is exclusive lah. Basically, I mean, the person that I speak to is basically my sister and Sean. To a point
Yeah, I
by, I
remember.
mean, for sorry for info, but I spoke to Sean. I did told Sean that bro, I can't take this anymore. It's
Yeah.
really mentally burden for me. I feel I can't consume. I don't feel anything in training. I feel it's very tough. And yeah, I did literally break down in front of my sister. My sister told me that I mean, hold on tight. I know you can do this. And the same input also coming from Sean. So yeah, I mean, I believe you told me you forced me to take a 3 days break. It was like 4 weeks, 5 weeks out from the show as well. Almost same with the situation. Yeah, but taking that
But do you remember what else I told you on that phone call?
I can't, man.
Yeah. So I'd said exactly the same to you what I was going through, and that your decline in mental health isn't worth this. So if it's that bad, we pull the plug. It's as simple as that. Like there's no debate, there's no question. Like if other things are affecting you mentally that we have control over
Yeah,
and can improve your mental stability, they go. Like that can come back in a different time, a different place, maybe a different approach. But right now, with everything that's going on in your life, your mom and everything, that needs your full attention, your full affection. And yeah, like it was a no-brainer in the end. Shows are always going to be there, mate. Bodybuilding's
yeah.
always going to be there.
So yeah, so I mean on that part itself, I was like taking that 3 days break, consuming what you have advised me. My sister was there. I mean, my sister even assist me to the gym to train, just to be my spotter. And so I mean, she was culture shocked. Like she was like, "You okay? Do you still want to train?" And so I said, just fuck it, just whisper to my ear, don't be a fucking pussy and stuff." But it was something that I mean, maybe the audience will understand. It's just that sorry, like I mentioned, that ego in us, that ego
Mm-hmm.
attachment. I believe
Mm-hmm.
Sean, you also understand the ego attachment whereby you're in too deep into prep, and you know that you're only very this
Close.
close to
Yeah.
that goal that you can achieve. You
Mm.
So yeah, so I did pull through after the 3 days. Told you, Sean, let's just fucking do it. Let's just finish this show. Yeah, but nonetheless, once we hit the peak week, and I was there, we had conversation and stuff like that, and we one day show out and stuff. I was motivated, but I know that it's just not gonna be my day.
Yeah.
Because most of the thing like you mentioned, when you feel that everything is not going north, everything is going south, things are not going onto your way and stuff. So during the show, I still remember get pushed out from doing classic, have to do bodybuilding. That was like then the long waited hours that we need to be there with the food that is not enough, and I
Mm.
consume a different kind of crispy bar, and it caused me bloatness. So everything just doesn't fall into plan. But I believe on the upside of it, we did bring a better package. We did bring the most conditioned look with more straight-edged, more lines, a more fullness and stuff. It's just that it
Yeah.
wasn't. Yeah. So as a whole, if you would ask me if that chance ever come back, if I'm gonna go back into that time, I would say I would. I mean, it helps to build that mental fortitude, but
Yeah.
I believe it's not worth it if it's gonna really take a toll from from your health, to be honest. Yeah.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying because like the 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 situation with your mom that can't be avoided. You have to go through that. You
Yeah.
have to ride that out. The bodybuilding journey you can put on hold and leave, so that's alleviating some of the stress that you're actually going through in that period of time. Some of the mental downfall that you're experiencing. What's happening with your mom, that can't be avoided, unfortunately. So you have to be present and that has to take your attention. But I think again, when we're thinking, like I said at the start of this about mental health, and I think there's so many now that are snowflakes, and they jump under the umbrella of they've got poor mental health or they've got high anxiety, through just feeling like normal shitty
Yeah.
day-to-day
Yeah.
experiences.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's those life experiences that build your character, that make you who you are. If you're constantly protected from the sharp edges of the world, you're not going to be able to survive, man. You're
True.
not.
Agree.
You know, you have to put yourself out there. You have to just sit with your thoughts and your feelings when you're upset or you're angry or something's pissed you off. It doesn't mean to say that you got bad mental health. It just means to say that you've had a shit day,
Yep.
you
Because
know?
I mean, I've experimented with my clients, with athletes and stuff, whereby when they send check-ins and stuff, at the bottom they'll put a asterisk and saying that next week I got this on my schedule. It's gonna be tough and stuff. My time, I try my best to hit my diet and not absent to any trainings and stuff. I mean, my reply is very ups. I mean, my reply is nothing personal. It's more to their developments and benefit. I would tell them that, look, if you're committed to do a show and stuff, I mean, it's not my call or it's not for me to chase you to make things right. I'm here trying to ensure that we pivot into a proper linear journey that you can get better every week and make according changes in it too. But if you're gonna tell me that, oh, I'm not sure whether I'm gonna do my diet, I'm not gonna miss my training. I mean, that's not a reason for you to use it on me or on us that you can do things. You need to work around your time. You need to work around whatever you have in life to make things better and to make things work, you know? Yeah, so I feel that some people are just basically soft, quote unquote, to say, in terms of approaching to their goals and stuff. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
not sure. Yeah, you guys have met this kind of handful of clients and stuff. Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, it's like everyone needs a fucking deload. Every other week, everyone needs a deload, or they're fatigued. It's like, no, you're not. No, you're not, mate.
no,
First of
no,
all, you don't train hard enough to be fatigued or warrant a fucking deload. Okay, because you're about 120 pounds wet through, like you have no muscle, no size, and you're telling me you're tired. No, this is it though. People wake up because they've had a busy day and they're tired, they feel drained. And yeah, don't get me wrong, there are people out there that are there are these
Yeah, yeah.
people, they're tired and they're drained and they're fatigued and they got bad mental health. But I think too many are just going through normal life experiences and claiming that they're riddled with exhaustion and they got bad mental health and they're riddled. And it's like, it's not, this is life. But I think we're in a generation now where we do have weaker minded people. We're not as, mental fortitude isn't at a level like it used to be. And I think people just don't like hard work. I think they don't like hard work. I think they want everything laid out for them, you know.
uh, there's a lot of truth in that. I think you guys have been to Thailand, right?
Yeah.
So you see the quality
Absolutely.
of athletes. If you look at Malaysia, Thailand, Indonesia, they are third world country, right? But yet they produce the athletes are top notch in terms of conditioning, how they present themselves. And look, these are people who do not have the greatest facilities in terms of equipment available to them to train. They need to uh, change around the way they train. And look, they don't have, let's put it this way, they will work probably 16 hours just to get X amount of chicken breast into their diet. But they make it work. I don't see them complaining about mental health. That itself, the mental fortitude for them to actually do that show,
Yeah.
despite with limited resources,
Mm.
limited equipment available to them, and yet they thrive. And and when they thrive, they win. When they on that stage, kneeling down and crying, you will feel for them. No, actually, you will
Mm.
feel for them. To
Yeah.
them, it's do or die. But if you look at in terms of Singapore, first world country, we put them in the same situation in their shoes, they will tap out for the first week.
Yeah.
On the
No,
first week.
totally agree.
Yeah.
It's
So
it's
it
like it's like that here, mate. It's like that
yeah.
in the UK. Like we've become a nation that's fucking entitled.
Hmm.
That they want everything given to them without
Yep.
earning it,
Yep.
and they live in this world where they've got everything that they possibly could want and need, and they
Yeah.
don't understand what hardship is. They don't understand
Yep.
what that is. And I don't think unless you've gone through that yourself,
Yep.
when you haven't had a lot, or you weren't given a lot, or you didn't have much encouragement,
Hmm.
um, it's difficult for someone to comprehend what it's like to feel like that. And the slightest touch of uncomfortableness that you get, oh no, and you piss off. Like you
Mm.
say, you tap out, man. You tap
Yep.
out very, very quickly.
I let me share when you talk about someone who do not have much or do not have anything or encouragement. Growing up, I was really poor, right? We were living in I think in Singapore context, we were living in like I think UK would be like a room, a small little room. There's six of us, right? I have four siblings. I'm the eldest.
Yeah,
So six of us living in a small box room house. So to the point that my late grandfather has to travel quite a distance just to send five, oh no, rather 10 kilo of rice. Is that bad,
yeah,
right? Put you into perspective when imagine that if you have very little to eat and imagine you're doing dieting and
yeah.
anyone complaining that, oh, I have not enough food, not enough
Yeah,
carbs, I look
yeah,
at them.
no, no, I totally get it. And like the flip side of that situation for us in the UK, I can go on my phone and I can get Uber Eats to bring me
Yeah.
5 kilo of rice
Yep.
brought to my house in
Yep.
10 minutes
Yep.
if I wanted to. That's how
Yep.
entitled we are. I don't know
Yeah.
what
Mm.
I'm doing.
Yep.
We are in
Yeah.
comparison to that, we are entitled to that
Yeah.
situation.
So,
And a lot of people don't understand what that looks like or feels like.
Yeah. So once if I have some guys who have the pleasure of having some guys who were in the same boat, right? So when I tell them, look, we have to push or rather bring the hammer down. I'm gonna cut back your cups. They will say, no cups at all. I'm fine. That kind
Yeah.
of attitude. But no, we're going to go down slowly. And they never question me. They never look. They understand the process. They know hardship. The thing is that when you get the snowflakes, then they will like, huh? You're gonna take out 100 grams of carbs from my 300? Oh man.
Yeah.
Right. Then the next,
they get stunned. Why? But why?
yeah, why? Why? Then they will say, I will look flat. Ah, you want the you want to look flat or want to get slapped from me?
Yeah.
I mean, we all have seen whereby in local competition. I mean, even in UK, I guess, it's like people tend to not dig in deeper, just want to play with that size game, yet not knowing their amount of muscle mass that they're having at this current moment, and thinking that, oh no, I want to play the size game and stuff. Yet there's no conditioning, there's no stage conditioning or per to say, and they feel that they are lean enough that, oh, all right, I'm quite lean. I just want to stay full. I want to keep feeling that glycogen, that carbs in my body and stuff to make it more fuller and stuff. So I I guess that's the trend right now that's happening. People don't prefer to suffer and get conditioned to be stage lean, and they
Yeah.
find that photo shoot lean body is just enough to to win a show. And once
Yeah,
they win it,
that baffles. I don't understand that.
yeah,
I don't understand that. Right, Jay, who won the overall sword 2 weeks
yeah,
ago, he was arguably the smallest person.
yep.
Show had 400 athletes in, 450 athletes.
Oh, that's a lot, man.
Not all men. There were some women, obviously, but he was arguably size-wise the smallest. Certainly height-wise, he
Yeah,
was
yeah,
one of
solid.
the
Yeah,
smallest. But he stood out. Why? Because he was the most conditioned person in
yep.
the whole show. Yeah, and that's why he won his class, and that's why he went on to win the sword and the overall. Condition is king. It will stand out, right? And I don't care if you don't have a lot of muscle mass, you can always increase your chances of placing or winning by making sure that
Is the
you're.
most conditioned.
Yeah, I truly believe that. I truly, truly believe that.
Sure. All right, I mean, Sean, I know that that's another Singaporean that you're prepping right now, Marcus.
Yeah,
You
you know,
know,
Marcus.
I'm big as I.
No, I know.
So I mean, how's his what's his plan and stuff?
You know, Marcus.
He's gonna be onto our podcast next week.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You should have got us both on together. That would have been pretty
I
cool.
mean, we would love to do that. I mean, we will because we are having him with his girlfriend. His girlfriend is
Hmm.
also a competitor as
Yeah.
well. Yeah, I believe you know. So yeah, so before we bring him next week, probably we bring you first.
Okay. Yeah, so he obviously hasn't been with me too long,
Yeah.
Marcus. He's obviously a completely natural athlete as
Yep.
well, 100% natural. Um, I think structurally he again he's put together very very nicely. Um, Sorry, one second, my battery's gonna die. Um, he he is like I guess many of the younger athlete breed. He's a little bit scared and pessimistic of putting on too much body fat. But I'm the same. Like I don't like getting my athletes too far out of shape, but especially with today's pressure on society to not get fat and to stay kind of lean via social media,
That's
he is kind of
yeah.
resistant to put on too much weight and get too soft. But we've cut him down, we've trimmed him down, and now we're in the reverse stage of we're kind of incrementally really pushing food up
Oh yeah.
ever so slightly. We've orchestrated the training plan to bring up the certain areas that we want to pull up, his arms and his lats being one of them. His arms need pulling up quite considerably, and his lats in his front shots we need more thickness and more density and more width with his lats as well. So um, I mean, I'd love to put some testosterone in his body, but yeah, maybe you boys can prompt him on that for me next week when he comes.
Yeah, I mean, why not, right?
Yep.
I mean, well, what's his I would say is his journey now. I mean, where is he going? What's his plan for his next show?
Well, shows we're going to sit down at the end of the year. When the calendars for 2026 come out, we're going to sit down and we're going to see what's about. But also we're going to take into consideration, okay, have we made enough progress to warrant standing on stage and presenting a much more complete physique next time round? Because if the answer to that is no, then there's no point dieting down to stage condition and
Yeah.
jumping on stage
Yep.
for the sake of it. You
Yeah.
know, you want to make sure that you have made a good chunk of progress. And I believe that we will have done by November, December time. You know, that's still another like 5, 6 months away. So there's no reason as to why he won't be vastly improved by then. And then it's we'll get our heads together at the end of the year and then decide what we do in 2026.
Nice, nice. Well, I mean, because I saw him did his first show in the local show in Singapore in Fitness Movement. Then
Mm.
after that, I had conversation with the girlfriend and stuff. Then knowing that a few weeks later, he was in the SMB team. I was like, wow, okay, who's this guy? I say, oh, it's Marcus. I'm quite surprised though.
Was that not because of you that he joined then?
No, I don't think so. It's not because of me.
Oh, okay. I thought like you'd referred him. I don't know where he found me from.
Oh,
I don't know.
yeah. Because when I saw him, I was like, eh, another Singaporean? Because I know there's another Singaporean that who go MIA on you, right?
Yeah, I spoke to him the other day actually. I forgot what his name is now. What was his name?
Yeah, yeah.
Do you
But
remember his name?
he won recently for Classic as well, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, he told me he was deep in prep and he had another coach or
Yeah.
whatnot. Um, but yeah, it's weird when they do that. Like they're with you and then they don't even say they're leaving. They just go and they don't check in the next week and you don't hear from them. Weird, very strange. And then 3 months down the line, you see they've been tagged in another coach's story and you're like, why didn't you just say you were leaving to go with
That's
another
exactly
coach?
right.
Just say bye bye. Like I won't lose sleep over it. You know?
Yeah, I mean,
I guess I guess it comes down to character. I mean, if you have self-respect, you will do the right thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean it's courtesy, right, as well,
Yeah, yeah,
just to say
yeah.
like and I understand that I'm not for everyone. Like
sure.
this is
Every
why
coaches are not, yeah,
Mm.
yeah people will gel better with other coaches, and I
Mm,
get that, but just say that, just say look,
Yeah,
I think I work better with this coach actually. If you're not like I won't cry. It's okay.
yeah.
You won't hurt my feelings.
But
I feel that they take things very personally. I mean, in terms of, oh no, I don't like you for whatever
yeah,
reason. Yeah. So I'm
you
just
know,
goes from you.
Sean, Rio has one of my athletes. And you know what he did before he goes to Rio? He texted me, bro. Yes. Uh, I've been working good with you, then I've been speaking to Rio. I say, I know this where this is going, right? So to me, before he said anything, you wanna go to Rio? I'm fine with it. I'm fine. He's one of the good guys, right? So he said, oh, you okay with it? Not? Are you okay with it? I'm like, no, I'm perfectly fine with it. Go with him. I'm not gonna beat you up. I still be sleeping fine. I mean, a few of my guys do that. So they go with other coaches. They will text me, bro, sorry, they go along that line. I'm going to another coach. Go. Get that experience. Get that knowledge from other coaches. You can learn from them. That's where you grow, right? I don't want you guys to be stagnant. Of course, I will try to make sure that they improve every show that they go to. But
Yeah.
sometimes a different approach might work for them. You know what I
Yeah, for sure. But the way that he's done that in terms of kind of coming to you first and saying, look, I want to go with this coach,
mean?
in my opinion, is the right way to go about a
Yeah.
situation like that. Rather than just go
MIA.
AWOL or MII or MIA and just say nothing. The best ones are where they don't cancel their monthly subscription but leave. So they'll leave, right? And then a month later they'll still get billed. So their monthly subscription will come out and they've got to message you then. They've got to send you a message saying,
Yeah.
your bank's took money out of my bank account. It's like, I didn't even know you'd left, mate. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but that's funny. Well, I guess it has been a very wholesome, fruitful podcast for this episode and stuff, and I'm grateful and appreciate it for your present and available to make your time for our podcast, the Prep Talk, Sean. So, Sean, I mean, just you want to say how do my audience or anyone who wants to hire you, where can they go to approach you? Or social media? What's your social media again?
I mean, first of all, boys, I just want to say thank you for having me on. It's been a pleasure talking with you both.
Yep.
Um, and yeah, I appreciate the airtime. In terms of coaching, well, you can just drop Rio a message. Just drop Rio a message, and he'll drop me a DM. I'm sure. He's on 15% commission for any new clients that I sign up. So
Oh, really? I didn't see the clause, boy. No, I mean, if you guys are, I mean, keen for any one of us. I mean, probably now with our guest, with our guest today, Sean. I mean, you can drop into Sean social media, Coach by SMB in Instagram. I mean, he has his website. You have your website as well, right?
Yeah, we can if this is going on YouTube, we can put a link underneath if we really want, I guess. Yeah, but
Yeah, you can shoot me in a WhatsApp, then we will update into the YouTube comment box. All right. Okay. Once again, I mean, this podcast is brought to you. It's sponsored by Phil Stretch Performance. If you want to get yourself fixed and stuff, do drop them on their Phil Stretch Performance IG and social media. And uh, thankful for you guys, your audience, stay with this period of time to watch this 3 part of episode. I know it's long, but I feel like it's very wholesome and fruitful having Sean with 6 to 8 hours time different, I guess.
it's 3 p.m. here. What time is it there?
This
And
it's 10
10
p.m.
p.m.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. That's not too bad. Too bad.
Yeah.
that's too bad. All right, and yeah, sorry, you got anything to say for the audience or for anyone?
Like Rio said, we're sponsored by Few Straps Performance. And of course, you can get to either Rio or Sean straight via his Instagram or website. Get yourself, probably you can talk to Sean if you're interested. Then just look out for his link in the podcast, and then you can get straight to him also. Right.
Yeah.
So it's nice to have you here, Sean.
Thanks, boys. Yeah, nice
Right,
to meet you, buddy. Thank you.
to add on,
Appreciate
I
it.
mean, if you're gonna go, if you guys gonna hire Sean, if you win a show, he's gonna give you 1 kilo of cheesecake. Trust me.
Do you remember that, Rio? Do you
Yeah, yeah,
remember?
yeah, yeah, definitely. All
In
right,
that
Sean,
in that
thank you very
suite, in
much.
that hotel suite in Bangkok, and we had that cheesecake. Oh my
Yeah, tell
word.
me about it, man.
That's
All right,
that's when you know you've made it in life, when you've got cheesecake on
true.
tap.
Okay, guys, thanks for
All
your time.
right.
Thank you, Sean. Thanks
Yep.
again. We'll keep in touch
Cheers,
more.
boys.
Thank you personally. All right, thank
Thank
you,
you.
guys.
Bye-bye.
See you
Bye.
guys.
Bye.